Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Board of Assessors meeting of January 8th, 2025, being held here at the Ritter Building, lower level. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, be advised this meeting is being recorded and broadcast live over the Lunenburg Public Access channel on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page. I'm not going to read that. The recording can be found on the Lunenburg Access to YouTube channel after the meeting. The meeting will be held in person at this location. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended nor terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. From a computer, please use the web link below. I'll read it to you, https://us02web.zoom.us/811-520-0294. The meeting ID is 811-520-2194. From a telephone, you can dial the toll-free number 888-475-4499 and enter the same webinar ID. I'll read it one more time. 811-520-2194 #. You will not be required to register with Zoom. You'll be asked for your name and email address. If you're on the telephone, you can use the raise hand feature. On a computer, and if you're on telephone, you may use the *9 to request to speak. The agenda lists topics that may be discussed at the meeting are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions, and not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. I will call us to order.
John Rabbit, here.
Brian LaFond, here. Our third member, Sarah Kammer, is unable to join us today. The principal assessor is unavailable today, and our consultant will be joining us about 7:30.
Okay.
Opening comments. Any comments from the board? Mr. Rabbit?
Cold.
None for me either.
Yeah, thank you.
The status report from the principal assessor, typically Linda would be speaking at this time. Rena will be filling in some of the stuff that's been going on in the office lately, but one of the items is to talk about 8 of 58. We've had now 2 applications, I'll call them applications, but requests for
Yes.
8 of 58 process for remediation of the 2024 tax. We'll have to review those. It is all predicated upon the abatement for this year. So we'll have to go through the abatement process for this year. And then, once we've done that, we can determine whether the 8 of 58 is appropriate in both your cases. It happen to be 2. I'm sorry, I shouldn't mention who it is, so. The 8 of 58 process is one whereby we apply to the state, and the director of the
Your vice chair or something?
Yeah, I don't know what his
Secretary,
title is off the top of my head. I have to look it up. Actually makes the decision once we've applied. So we will go through the review of the abatements, so that there'll be inspections of your sites, which are already, I believe, scheduled. Once those are done, then that'll come back to the board. We'll make an adjudication about what the changes should indeed be. Having said that, I can't make any predetermination of how much success you'll have or not, but we will look at it very closely because we understand how difficult the time is.
And we have good, Mr. Chairman, we also have good grounds to make the appeal.
Each one has to be looked at separately. So
Yes, that's correct.
We believe that we have grounds for potentially both.
Yes.
But they may be in fact different determinations. I don't know that. I can't commit to that today. So that A to 58 process goes to the director for whoever it was. And then they have as much time as they want to, I don't know if they have a limit, 60-day limit or a 90-day limit, but they have some limit for how quickly they must decide. Very rarely do they approve A to 58s, but they do. It's not like it's not gonna happen. They do approve them, so. As I said, if we apply, when and if we apply for A to 58 for either of your situations, or both, we will be the advocates for that situation as well. So we will defend the position that this needs to be an A to 58. To the best of our ability. And again, we are not the deciders, so we can only do what we can do. We can make decisions on your abatement process for this year, so.
Mr. Chairman, what we will do in order to go in to meet with these folks is we will bring some data that we can demonstrate that this was something that outside of.
I'm not sure it's a meeting. We'll
Oh,
make
yeah,
the,
okay,
we'll
yeah,
make
but-
the application.
but yeah.
We'll make the application and make sure that all the supporting documentation is
Right,
available to
right,
them
right.
and well explained. So, as I said, we will be the advocates for those A to 58 that are approved, that are recommended by us. They don't get approved by us, they get recommended by us, so. So yeah, it's a convoluted process. It's lengthy in time, and there's no guarantee of success. But we'll be there.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, I'm sorry, I
No,
interrupted
that's
you.
okay. No,
I just wanted to clarify that
No, you
it's
didn't.
not a meeting that,
I would jump all over you if you did.
you said meeting, I want to be careful that
Okay,
we're not talking.
just a friendly reminder, obviously, everybody's received their tax bills now. They have 30 days to get either first make a call, get some clarification, and then get your abatement in. Even if we can't resolve it or whatever, get in line and get under that wire.
Just
And
to be
we're telling
clear,
the whole town this.
Yeah, that was basically for the whole town, because the people that are asking for an A to 58 have already submitted,
That's correct.
so.
Yeah.
Well, so far, it's always a possibility someone else will come forward, we don't know that.
Right, well, we're gonna get it.
So, to not commit to anything, we can't say that.
I know that, but think positive. Right,
Okay.
let's hope.
Anything else we wanted to cover on the A to 58? I will open it up to questions from the public if they want to ask any questions about the A to 58, if that's okay with the board.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, so my question is, I submitted it in writing. Generally, what is the amount of days that you guys have to at least give an answer or some form of an answer, an update of whether my request where it's at?
So if you file for an abatement, once you file for the abatement, we then go out and look at your place. We will make a determination at our next, we plan to make a determination at our next meeting, which is January 22nd. At that point, we will be able to determine whether we want to move forward with an 8058 for either or both of your situations. So at that point, we could give you an idea of where we are after the 22nd. I don't know if we can give you any idea what the state how long the state might take after that. We don't know. So we can't give you a clear answer on the 858 till we've actually done the abatement for this year. So.
I think that'd be correct, Brian. I think even the ATB, we're never sure, the appeals board, we're never sure how long it's gonna really take, because they're just backed up. And, meantime, the good news, go ahead.
Finish.
Hold on to your money.
At one point, the appellate tax board was backed up by 18 months. They're almost caught up now, so that's not a problem any
Right.
longer. We don't know how long the state might take, though.
The meeting on December 18th, where we came to discuss RSA, my takeaway from the meeting was we were gonna do the 858 on my property. Is that what you're saying? is
Based
not-
upon the information, no, based upon the information that we had at that time, and in fact, the information we have now, I think that that will be the conclusion,
Right, okay.
yeah. But again, the board will have to vote on that. We won't be looking at that till the 22nd. We don't have the data from 25 to be able to figure out what we need to go back to 24. And in fact, we will be re-looking at 24 based upon what we find on the 25 abatement requests. So I don't know if that's probably not very happy, but it's, we're sort of up against it.
So my request has been received
Yes,
and it is documented.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we will respond
I
to
will
it as
get
soon
a
as we.
response January 22nd or after.
At least by then. I'm hoping for much sooner than that, because once we've had a chance to go back and do your abatement inspections, most of the data will be in front of us. So we'll know what the data is going to be. We will not have agreed as a board to whether those abatements have been approved. Of course, we're gonna try to approve as much as we can. But, so I can't give, we won't be able to give you a final answer till after the 22nd, but after the 14th, we probably have a pretty good idea.
Mr. Chairman, normally filing in abatements, we would, and there's no one here right now, but we would come back and we would stamp it received.
It's
acknowledge
already
it.
received.
It's already been received.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're all set.
Yep.
You're
Yep,
good, you're
it's-
formally good.
Everything's documented.
Yeah.
Everything, we have documented that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's already occurred. I wish I could give you more information today.
That's what I needed. I mean, we sent emails following up on it. There hasn't been a response of, yes, it's been received and it's
Oh!
documented.
You know what, that's fair, that's a very fair feedback, thank you very much. If you come into the office, we stamp it, if you send us an email, we respond to it, but usually we try to respond with something that we can tell you other than
Yeah.
received. I will make sure that a note goes out to you that says officially received,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
because that, you probably need that.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good
then-
follow-up, thank
Do
you.
they have control, we assigned control numbers to these now? These abatements?
Yeah,
for
there's
this year?
a log. There's an
Okay,
abatement log.
and that's, usually we used to stamp it and then we'd give it the control number on the
There's a
stamp.
log.
Okay,
Rena updates the log. She'll be coming to join us at 7:30.
okay, we can ask her.
But she has the log already set, so they've already
Okay.
started. So we actually, there's more than 2 abatement requests so far.
Are they really?
I'll let her update us.
Okay.
There were 3.
3. It didn't take very long.
Well, no,
You know, you can't submit them early. if
there
you-
were, no, you can't. You can't submit until you know
I-
what your tax bill is. How would you submit an abatement if you don't know what your tax bill is?
I think it's the, you're right, you're right. It was,
I know.
I'm sorry, I take that back. There are some instances where you can apply for other things.
Well, that's not an abatement.
That's not an
You
abatement.
can apply for an exemption, but you
And
can't apply for
exemptions
an
and
abatement.
deferrals earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps, hinders, leaves you feeling queasy, but we are trying to get this done as quickly as possible for you. Linda's coming back on Monday, the reviews will be, the inspections will be on Tuesday. We'll have a pretty good idea of what the results of those inspections are by then. We will be meeting on the 22nd to formally review those. I won't say approve, but formally review those, and once that approval is done, we can figure out what the next steps are.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
thank you.
That helped, just knowing the process, so I appreciate it.
One of the things that we've asked to try to do is to set up a calendar of the assessment process. And there are so many little steps along the way, and some things are dependent upon the next step, or, you know, there's 30 days before this, but it could happen sooner than 30 days, so if we have up to 30 days, and it's hard to put together a calendar that says, this is the date, this is the date, this is the date. But rest assured, you are getting your inspections on the 14th, and we will have an adjudication of your abatement request by the 22nd.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that helps.
It does, I just needed an answer that I've given everything that was
Yep.
needed to
Mhm.
next.
And well,
Go
I
ahead.
think we could do this. There was some talk of a letter for your mortgage companies. If you still need something, just let us know what it is.
Okay.
We'll try to accommodate that.
We're working with, or, I don't wanna speak for both of us, but we're working with our mortgage companies and just trying to find out what they need to assist, so we're just in a whole pattern with them as
Right.
well.
They seem to be more rigid than the state. Jeez.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Just,
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
you can always take the tax bill you just got and get that into them, so they get that processed, because it's.
they get it.
Yeah.
Their mortgage company's already got those tax bills.
We don't mail directly to mortgage companies.
Mhm.
We did?
You're
Well,
both,
they know the taxes, I don't know if they're pulling.
Oh, they know the tax rate, but, yeah, I was under the impression that we are not involved in contacting banks directly, because
Maybe
we,
they
a lot of
pull
cases, we
out
don't know who the banks are.
it's, everybody's a different situation.
Yeah.
I believe both of their mortgage companies are completely aware of their tax bill.
Okay,
Is that true?
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They charge us.
And then with last year's taxes coming out late,
Right,
it didn't go into my mortgage until
right.
October. So
Right.
that's why the 8 of 58 is really important
Sure.
for me,
And-
because that has really put me in a tough spot.
Yeah, they wanna
Many mortgage
claw it
companies
back,
only,
yeah.
many mortgage companies only review their escrows once a year. And if the data that they have in front of them is faulty, they're gonna use that. So, I get it. So if you need something from us, please let us know.
Okay.
Now, the other updates from the principal assessor, Rena will be able to give us what she has.
Okay.
If there's nothing else?
Nothing else, I'm good.
Okay, you are welcome to stay and listen to our 2 hours of bickering.
Or you can watch it on TV. But it depends, it's like, you know,
See how it goes, yeah.
we had the Tuesday night fights last night, and then we had the Wednesday night fights. I mean, this is an entertaining town.
So I've already given the status of the abatement applications. We have 3 so far. We have
Yeah.
2 more that we know are coming,
Yeah,
and more forms have been given out, but we don't know how many will actually result in an abatement application.
right, and they can download them, they know how to download them.
And they can download them from the
Yeah,
website, so.
and bring it in.
Current business, I don't have any minutes. Just wanted to.
I had no problem with the minutes that just came out as well. I'm happy with all of them at this point.
So we.
I'm not happy with some of the votes.
I would like
but-
to, with the accuracy of the minutes, one of the concerns that the person that takes our minutes had was that we thought she might not be doing a good job, and I want to reiterate that I think she's doing a great job of trying to understand all the terms that we have,
Yeah.
all the talking over each other that we do,
Mm-hmm.
getting the gist of what was being
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the work that she's done, so I have to say,
I agree.
3 hours worth of meeting, 5 pages of meeting minutes is
I'm hoping she's using
not,
voice recognition.
not something that I would want to have to do.
Yeah.
And
And I think, and honestly, to the credit of yourself and the team, if you look at the minutes that used to come out, it was a half a page half the time.
it didn't
And
really
so, I
say.
mean, there's been a major step forward, and you, Mr. Chairman, have done a nice job of making sure we stay current.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not gonna review the minutes today.
Okay.
We'll review minutes again
Yeah.
on the 22nd at the beginning of the meeting, so
Right.
we'll get through all those. And then we'll be doing our executive session on the 22nd. If we are reviewing your abatement, you are welcome to come and join us during that conversation, only for your property, because it's confidential information for everybody else's property. So we will definitely be doing some on the 22nd, and I believe both of yours will be here, so. If you have some time, feel free to join us. It's sometimes worth the effort. Okay, review and approve invoices and expense vouchers. That, again, we'll have to
Wait for
defer
Rena.
until Rena has, I don't think she has much to be
Yeah.
signed. Assessor conference, that's your baby.
Our baby, yeah.
I got your
Yes, ma'am.
34-page
Oh, it's getting that, it's changed. Did you get the last one I sent out maybe an hour ago? We've had more changes.
I was here an hour ago. You weren't.
You weren't, no.
You were sending this out.
Yeah, I sent the latest out. It's actually going really well. We've got, just to hit the table of contents here, we
Oh.
have.
What,
Is
you
there a
adding-
change?
Are you adding something?
Oh yeah, we changed. We had a new surprise today, and I don't know if Lou will let me say it, but since I put it in writing, it'll be okay. But anyway, the first piece, Lunenburg's changing senior imperative. My nose is not doing well now. So anyway, I met with Deb Bleak, I don't know a couple of times. We've built up a whole section that integrates, both she and I will be doing parts, and you can see that. Hopefully that's okay. Updates from the Beacon Hill, I spoke.
So I can read all of this. I know what's here. I'm really want to review what you've put together so far, and you've added something. What did you add?
Basically, I found out this morning, and it confirmed it with Margaret Scarsdale, that essentially our new senior, I'm going to make the right words here, Lunenburg tax relief bill was approved today for town. That is a real nice one. That's a good one to have. The thing with it is that it's kind of like, you have a marketing department, they draw a picture of a car, and they say, oh, you really need this? This is going to be beautiful, this is going to sell real well. And then they run up to the executive management, and they say, yeah, let's do that. Then it goes to the board of directors, which I would equate to the state. They said, yeah, and after a lot of help, yeah. And then it comes back to the engineering and all the other departments that have to go out and design the car.
So what is it you added?
I added that whole section. If you go to my last piece to it.
I have a hard copy, and I'm just trying to figure out where to put stuff.
Okay, where you're gonna see that is in section 5B. And I've spoken to Lou.
That's game changers?
Those are under the game changers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and the Lunenburg
That's fine.
tax relief is section B. I've spent, Lou and I traded calls about 4 times today. We went over what it looked like and what was involved in the package.
For the folks watching, Lou
Franco.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Lou, yeah, thank you. And Lou we've gone some pieces. I actually called Margaret Scarsdale because I couldn't find it in what had been finally approved by the state. Margaret sent that over to me, so we now know what the law looks like.
May I ask a question about that?
Sure.
It's approved by the state, meaning it's been approved by
It's
the
been
legislature
signed.
and
It's
signed by
signed
the
by the
governor.
governor.
Okay, thanks.
Signed by the governor. In fact,
It's
it was
law.
signed yesterday.
It's law. Good, thank you.
So that's the good news on that one. So that's another good positive hit.
Okay.
And by the way, if you come to our conference, you'll see the reason for all this stuff kind of moving in that direction.
So I don't want
Okay,
to
I know,
discuss
I know.
the whole presentation.
You
I
just
want to
wanna know what
discuss.
changed. Okay.
Well,
So
I
now-
also wanted feedback on the presentation that you've given
Yeah.
me so far, so.
Yeah. And so that's the big change. There were a lot of smaller pieces. I'm moving stuff around. I'm trying to go through it. First you envision what the thing would look like, then you try to get as much as you can, and you end up with like 30, 35 pages.
So-
But I don't have Linda's section yet, and which is 10 of it.
Okay.
10 of it. It's a big chunk. Linda's section is a big piece.
Can I feedback on what I have?
Yeah.
We'll start there, and then you can tell me what you've changed
Oh, okay.
from, because I thought the change was just gonna be you added something to this Lunenburg tax relief thing,
Mhm.
but it sounds like you have way more than that, so.
Well, that will be changed. The stuff's there. It's just that I don't know if Linda is gonna add a whole pile of verbiage to it and what she wants to say, because it's her part. She's got a big section of it. So that part still needs to be gone up with. I did,
So I can review what I have, but I can't review what I don't have, so.
Right.
Can we do that?
yeah, I sent it to you. Just, okay, what's
No,
in
you
there?
sent
I
it
don't
to me an
know
hour
yet.
ago. You sent it to me at 1:00 in the morning. I went through it today,
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah. And I just sent you another one at 4:30, 5 o'clock today, after working through these more changes. So anyway, I'm trying to pull this off my memory, but Margaret made changes to her sections. We had given
I don't
her,
care about that. It's Margaret. She gets to do what she wants.
that's true, but remember, we're trying to interweave
I-
all those pieces. Okay, so I'm just telling you what got changed today. Okay, senior housing update. I've spoken with Michael last night. And
Michael Ray?
Yes, Michael Ray.
Jeffries.
And Jeffries, yes.
We should use whole names.
I know, and you gotta hyphenate the name too, you wanna be sure to call him Michael Ray. Had a real good conversation, he's got some more thoughts, okay, that's fine, it's not something I have to prep slides for, he's gonna be more talking to it. The property tax exemption changes, that's Linda's section, we've captured them there. She's just gonna talk to the changes within that. Then the game changers, and I use the term game changers in that those are some significant financial changes. That,
I want to
Go
stay
ahead.
on task.
I
And
am.
I'm
You're
feeling like
right.
we're just rambling into new things. Can we go through the thing you sent me at 1:30 this morning?
I did not, I did, hold on a second. I have what I just sent you.
Because I can't review the stuff that you sent at 4:30 because I wasn't at my
I know,
computer.
there's not-
I was actually here, so.
Oh, bless your heart, good man. You gotta live here, right? Okay, Outlook, let's go to my messages, we're gonna get a file, it's a mega
We'll
file.
review the final for the 22nd. I'm hoping we get a copy of it a couple days before the 22nd so we can actually.
Yes, you will.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Not 1:30 in the morning.
As soon as, no, I won't do that.
Thank you.
As soon as I can get the other pieces in, it'll be integrated in. Then I've gotta take it by the boss, my wife Jane. By the way, do you see how I use the header?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Jane Rabbit's husband.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's like,
You're representing the Board of Assessors.
yeah, but
Yes, you should.
I'm recognizing myself as Jane's husband. No one knows me, everybody knows Jane. And
I would prefer that you use your name. Thank you. We can vote on it later on.
we can
or you
vote on
fix
later
it.
on, I always do this. Come on, seriously, have some fun.
I wanted to know what imperative was. I'm glad you, but let me just go through the things I.
Okay, what did you have?
On page 2, fact, more than, it's more than. Can you just
Okay,
fix that? So you get
that could have
right?
got changed already today. I've
I
gone,
don't know.
I'm
Just-
still
it's what I
wordsmithing the
got.
crap out of it. Go ahead.
We're here to review the one I got
Give me
last
the
night.
big stuff.
Which I did. On the first Redfin page, which was my page 4,
Yeah?
the direction and pace of which homes prices, and you have the median price of a home in the United States is $630,100. And then
Right.
you say Massachusetts, $630,
Yeah.
$630,100. Is it both the United States and Massachusetts?
That's
or one of
exactly what
those
it
is-
said. I just pulled the wording right out of the document. That's up. And I referenced it, I think I gave you a
It
reference.
it just says Redford. It just
Yeah.
says Redford.
Reference.
It says last year's approximate, does that mean 23 to 24? Sales
20,
price
well,
increase?
when, I assume that last year's was 24. I don't know
So
how it,
Redfin doesn't tell us if it's 23 to 24, or 22 to 23, or 24 to 25. Or what it is.
the numbers are close between the two, between both Redfin and Zillow.
So down at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
you've got Zillow,
Yeah?
which says last year's approximate sales price was 7.6%.
And the other one says
So Redfin, you had
8.6.
8.6%. So
Right.
these are not different time frames. These are just
These are
different sources.
same relative time frame.
No, they're different sources.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely different sources.
So we have different sources that give us different names,
And not,
or different answers,
not significantly different.
to 1%.
What are you gonna do with that 1%?
No, 1%.
You look at the trend line. What does the trend line show?
No. I'm just trying to make sure that I can read this.
Okay.
And since you have two different sources,
Uh-huh.
they came up with two different answers.
Right,
So you either need to be explained the differences or just
Okay.
say they're different.
okay, I'll state difference, notice the difference.
On the next page was page 5. It says current home mortgage rates. Is this also Zillow?
Let me see which one it is. Current home mortgage rates? No, that's out of Google, out of Google.
Must have come from a website? I just want to know
Okay,
what the
Google,
source
what's
of
the
stuff-
current home mortgage rates?
No, I believe you. All I'm saying is we need to source this stuff. You
Okay,
can't pull it out of the thin air.
okay,
So if it's coming from Google, that's fine. You've got it
okay,
off Google.
I'll add
Just
some more
please
sources.
source stuff.
I do.
Well,
I don't, do I
Let me
get them
tell from
all?
here. So on
Oh, I
page
shut it down. Okay.
6,
Yeah?
assumptions,
Mm-hmm.
you said current home sales value is $400,000. You mean,
That's what the current, no, I picked
That's
the
an
four,
if.
that's, no,
It's just-
if, that's an
if you
if.
could start it with if, then I think we're okay.
Okay,
I,
add an if. Okay,
I
add
just
if
thought
on
you
the
were,
ifs.
I wasn't sure what it was trying to say. On the third one, it says $19,511. Does that mean per year?
Per year appreciation,
Did you put per year, please?
okay.
Your current annually tax, I think it should be just annual tax.
I love you,
We're gonna-
Brian.
we're just
I love
trying to
you.
make
No, which
sure
is good,
this is
which is good.
right
You're
when
the
it goes
detail.
public.
Okay, yeah.
On your property tax, item 1, the last note says 6.29% from prior year. Could you actually list the year? You mean 24?
24.
Okay.
But I will add the year.
And then explain why it went up so much higher than we expect, or than we
I
think
can't.
is the norm. It's an override.
No, the price,
the
we're
fund-
talking the increase in the prices of
The
homes,
Funding, taxes,
taxes, 6.9?
taxes.
Okay, it must have been the tax, if that's. I
You
don't-
said taxes. I think you meant taxes here.
Yeah, okay.
Combined residential taxes rose 6.29% from 2024.
Mhm.
We need to explain why it was something outside what you expected to be, which was 3% annually.
Yes.
It was,
And by the way-
I believe it was funding for the override, but we need to just confirm that. So
Okay,
all I'm
confirm.
saying is explain
Yeah,
this and put the year.
okay.
On page 9, you had the copy of the website. If you could just, I would prefer, and we can discuss it as a group next time, I guess. I would prefer that the blue section be closed up. So it just says,
Yeah, my intent with Linda, and this is Linda's piece, is that, look,
no,
I was
I
hoping
understand, I got
Yeah,
that, I got
okay,
that,
okay.
I got that.
Okay.
My preference would be to have that blue section closed up,
Okay,
because all the other stuff is on the other side, in the white section that we need. So just close them, I would suggest we close them up. I don't get the final say.
I'm gonna ask
we
Jean.
as a group
She's
will.
get some. Okay, close the blue section up.
And then where we have the exemption applications and miscellaneous documents, if we could maybe put a little circle around it to
Isn't that
say
the next
forms.
page?
No, it's right on the page, same page.
Same page, should be just a summary of what's the index,
What-
or quasi-index.
No, this is our page. You took
Mhm.
our page, that's
Yeah.
fine. Perfect, thank you. Here's
Yeah.
our page.
Yeah,
But if we could just put a little, like a comment section, and circle the ones that say, this is where the forms are, and circle
Oh,
this
okay,
one and
add-
say, this is where the maps are.
okay. I have some of the forms referenced, but I like that. That's a good suggestion.
As opposed to my other suggestions.
Only, hey, you know, if you get me to agree with half of it, you're doing good. Not till I get overwhelmed.
So on
Uh,
page 10,
Hold on, let me
got all
finish.
that?
Notification to point, you're gonna want me to point to the forms, and what else, Brian?
Just put it, like, now you've taken a picture of the circle, of the page, make a circle around those things that say forms, and make a circle
Yeah.
around the thing that says maps,
Just
or it says
forms,
GIS,
maps,
just say
okay.
maps. Those are two things I think that people will be most interested in on the page, before they've opened up any of the stuff on the
Yeah.
left and the
There's
blue.
another group in there that's essentially how to read your property card.
And,
I can add that too. It's not a big
yeah,
deal.
no, that's
Okay.
fine, that's actually a good idea, I like that.
Sarah would never forgive me if I didn't do that.
On page 10,
Yeah, I'm still on page 10.
no, that was page 9.
That's page 9? Okay, page 10.
Uh, Oh, some of the stuff that we should add potentially,
Mhm.
I like your list under homes inspected, but we also inspect,
Oh, the metrics?
let me finish.
Okay, no, was that the metrics on page 10? That's all I'm asking.
Achievements and notable benchmarks.
Benchmarks, right.
Yes, you got metrics halfway down the page, I got it.
Okay.
Can we add something under homes inspected for review of permits?
Oh,
Closed
that's a good one.
permits. Because all the
For
other stuff.
closed permits, that's where we get in trouble too.
Well,
Yeah.
No, quite frankly, since we now have a data collector, we've actually gone back and redone all the permits for 23 and 24 so far, well, so the ones that we know of.
Yeah.
And she's actually starting to go back further to see if we've missed them in 22.
It's perfect.
So
She's doing
I want
right.
to put that in there.
Okay,
That's why I
I'm gonna
think
add
that needs to be in there.
that's worth $500,000.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
So please add
yeah,
closed
I
permits.
will. I got that.
Under there, you have tax deferrals granted and cars generated. I think we don't have.
We don't have a car
because-
system yet.
So let's take them off this page, because
Okay.
it's just not necessary.
Well,
And
this-
we have no tax deferrals today, so don't put them down, because we don't have any granted. You're gonna put
Right.
a big zero
I
there.
can
That
put
doesn't have
zero.
anything.
The
Doesn't
reason why I
happen.
put it in there
I know
is
why you wanna
because-
bring attention to it, but it
No, no, it's
doesn't need to be
because
on.
it's in our website right now.
This is achievements and benchmarks. We don't
Yeah.
have any
You don't
achievement or
want to-
benchmark on either of those things. So please don't highlight them as achievements or benchmarks.
I didn't put zero in. Okay, I'll. Okay, go ahead.
You
That's
know,
fine.
every time I achieve zero, I've achieved nothing.
I tell everybody, guess what? I didn't get there.
On page 11, I actually went through your 30
Oh, you
pages.
did. Good.
Okay,
Keep going.
page 11. 3,600 of the 35 single-family residential properties.
Right.
It just says residential properties. We have other residential properties.
Right, we
that
have
aren't
condos. I should.
No, we have 2-family and 3-family.
Right.
Condos are separate.
Yeah, I
You
didn't know-
highlighted condos,
Yeah.
but you 3635 was single-family only.
It's, oh, okay, I'm saying family residence or,
That's a single-family.
yeah. Is
Because
that what I wrote,
two-
single family?
No, you didn't. Please add single-family.
But is it, I thought that the duplexes
No,
were counted as part of that overall.
no, they're in 2-family or 3-family.
Okay, I don't know if I have the data.
We do. It's on that spreadsheet that I
Oh,
sent you
did
the
you
other
send this
day.
today? Okay. Let's see, what pound, that was
And
page
if
10.
if you need
right?
help getting the right data, I can help you get the
Oh,
right
I
data.
can't call you. I'm not
You
allowed
can-
to
I can
call
help,
you.
but you can say, what was the number of this?
Okay, I can send you an inquiry. Yeah, okay, so what page, that was page 11 and
Page 11, the first bullet,
Okay, first bullet,
were single-family residential properties.
okay.
The next bullet,
Mm-hmm,
I don't think it means anything to anybody.
what's that?
Total property tax was valued at, no, it's not the tax, it was the value,
Valuation.
of
yeah.
42 billion. And nobody has any context for that, so I would say just leave it off, it's not meaningful.
I think it's just a neat piece of information to say, guess what? Your assessor's department's working on $42 billion worth of assets. Isn't that worth mentioning that?
I don't think it's meaningful, so we can debate it at the next
Okay.
review, but from my perspective, that doesn't need to be there. No increase in the site index. You should say that that's also known as neighborhoods, because people
Yeah.
won't know necessarily what a site index is.
Okay.
So that's one of the bullets.
I'm saying-
One,
saying
two,
neighborhood.
three, fourth bullet. On the fifth bullet,
Neighborhoods.
you got another page?
Page, I can get more on that.
Fifth
page.
bullet,
Okay.
where we have,
What was it?
the sales ratio is 94, 95, and 96. Can you put percentage signs after those, because people won't necessarily know what that means.
Hey,
Sales ratio is,
do me a favor, I'll print you up another one. Keep marking that one up, so
mine's all marked up, you can have this after. we're
Okay,
done.
that'd be perfect, thank you, because that's where I get in
Just
trouble.
one of the things that our support people from Vision send us is something that's called the ratio, and it doesn't say that it's a percentage, so I went and recalculated them all with an Excel spreadsheet, and I went, oh, wait a minute, they're here.
Yeah.
So if we just put them in as a percentage, then. we're
Okay.
good. So basically.
I will.
The sales ratio, for those people who may not know, is the total valuation of our properties in the community versus the total sales for the property. So a property should be valued at least about 95%
5% of the
of its,
sale.
so we don't value it 100%. We don't attempt to try to value it 100%. And these are sales from 2 years ago, so we're obviously,
Another one off, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
But, so the target is to be somewhere around 95% of the actual sales value. So when we assess a piece of property, We want it to be assessed at about 95%
Yeah,
of its
we
actual sales
we
price.
hit 93
Where there
something
are
or other,
actual sales.
and then the condos were a different number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all different.
Yeah.
Just put,
Okay.
add percentages there, please.
Okay.
Excuse me real quick? I'm sorry, the paper is right on top of the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries, thank you.
Maybe
What?
they don't really want to hear us bickering anyway.
Does that really shield
You
it?
just hear the paper shuffling, really, you can still hear you.
Oh,
I
okay.
love those. On the two-family median sale price, so you knew there were 1, 2, and 3 families here, but,
I just picked up whatever the data said, and,
so I just want us to go back and double check that the sale price was 457.5 and that the median appraised price is 468. So the appraisal on two-family median is higher than the actual sale prices on average.
I
It just feels wrong, so I just
I
wanted
don't
to
know.
double check the data.
yeah. Okay, you're giving that to me,
I'll give it to
I
you.
will
I-
double
It
check
says, is this right?
Is that what he said? Is this right?
That's what I wrote, is
Oh,
this
is that
right?
right? Okay.
So, I had page 17,
Okay.
this is not a knock.
Uh-huh.
Just, it appears that the stuff on the right-hand side was cut off at the top. I don't know if it was or wasn't,
Oh, you know what?
so I'll give it back.
I need to slide that down. That's
I'll give
right.
this to you, but
Thank you.
this
Yep,
is
yep.
cut off at the
I'll
top.
see, cut off. I pulled the file off. I didn't copy it.
No, it's okay,
totally.
it's just, it was pasted on the page,
Yeah,
something
okay.
odd. This one says veterans continued, and it's page 18. And I'm not sure what need to
Oh,
change percentage
there's-
perhaps
Okay, in
means.
this particular case, it's about 3 pages on veterans. We
No, no,
want, you want.
I got that, but I'm just
Okay.
trying to figure out what need to change percentage
Oh,
perhaps means.
Okay, whenever I left Linda's section, that's what I wrote. What about, you want to change this? What do you want to do with this? That's what it's meant for.
Okay.
Because you just, all of her stuff, there's questions along that.
I had virtually no feedback on your 41A stuff, or the circuit breaker stuff. I thought it was great.
My
Some of the
spreadsheet
stuff,
worked?
some of the stuff I think we probably want to put it into an index, but
Yeah,
we
okay.
can decide how much goes into the
Okay.
index later
I
on.
do, by the way, in terms of getting it checked, since you're a wizard, you're an Excel wizard, and I was gonna call you, but I can't. But at the same time, I called Becky at DOR and said, hey, I see all these calculations I did with regard to this. Did I not screw anything up? I just wanted to make sure that all the assumptions that drove those numbers were legit. And for that matter, how we're handling it. And I'm pretty sure they are.
If the numbers are right, as long as they're explained properly, then
Yeah.
we're golden. I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. I liked this, that you put the DLS,
Yeah, I made a I even added more to that page today.
okay,
So,
I like that a lot. And nothing on the game changers, nothing on the volunteers, so
Okay, thank you.
you
Thank
are
thank
welcome
I
to
appreciate-
make any and all of
appreciate it.
those changes, or none.
No, I'm gonna.
We'll be voting on them on the 22nd, so
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah, I know.
and I don't know
you-
what, Sarah may want something else,
Okay,
but we do have some pictures in there, and you probably need to make sure that it's okay with each of those
if it-
individuals.
I
that
took
their
those,
pictures
I
are-
took their pictures out this afternoon, because Michael's, actually, we didn't even use names.
Michael
some-
Ray's didn't look like Michael Ray.
No, he looked like Samuel Jackson.
I did.
And Michael's a really
Was a
good dear friend of
Bad,
mine. He really
it was a
is.
bad picture of a handsome man, so I'm telling you, I wouldn't put those pictures in there either, so. that-
He would, okay, the other rest of the story is, I put one of his pictures up and he goes, oh, I don't like that picture, I don't like that picture, and
Sounds like him.
well, it does, but he's been working really hard, and I can't share all this stuff, but, you know, he wants to show off his best new person, and so, but you know what, I realized that we don't have a lot of pictures, and I know Linda pushed back last time, she didn't want any pictures of her in there, and I said, okay.
If we were gonna use any pictures, they should be approved by the person whose picture you're putting
Yeah,
in, so.
yeah. So I took them all out.
By the way,
with
I don't
exception
know why
of
they
mine.
need pictures if they're all presenting right in front of the group.
Two of them aren't.
Who's not?
our assistant, and.
No, you had pictures in there, the people who are presenting.
Yeah, I was
I don't
trying to
know
get.
why we need pictures of the people who are presenting when their faces are gonna be up in front of people.
Well, kind of like it,
Already.
okay, I'm leaving Margaret's in there because it's part of her piece.
And that's fine,
Yeah,
because
and,
guarantee she wants it.
pardon?
Guarantee she wants the picture there.
Well, I think that, yeah, it's a good picture,
Okay.
right? It's a good picture. And by the way, we owe them a big thanks for pushing that through, three of them. I got that.
I suspect that
put-
the select board will actually do that, but
Thank them, yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so to summarize what you saw, you're seeing a big dramatic change in terms of the population shift towards seniors. And in fact, right now, if you look at the demographics, the seniors are gonna represent about 25% of the total population of Lunenburg. That's gonna put an additional strain on our housing and all the other things. That's why we've got a lot of these people in here. The other part of it is that if you take out the adolescents and you take out the kids in school, seniors are gonna represent almost half of the rest of the adult population, if you look at from 65 on, using the other pieces. So now you're gonna see a bigger load and a need for deferrals, because we know that population's not gonna be there, and we're gonna be trying to be there for that. And we're also gonna be there in terms of the other pieces of the.
circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker.
Yep.
And that'll provide another safety net.
All
for
of
them.
those relief items are gonna continue to be pushed.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
And the thing of it is, mechanics, we have to worry about the mechanics on there, especially on the new piece. Maybe I just said this, but with regard to the legislation passing that bill, we don't have, how are we gonna route this? How is it gonna be considered an abatement? Or is it or does that have to now go into our overlay accounts? And what about the whole deferral piece? The deferral piece is actually a good deal. We're gonna, for those seniors, they're gonna, what was the number, was about 165,000 they're gonna save just by holding on and using the deferral program. And we already know.
So they already have access to the deferral program, they just,
And
nobody's using it.
no one's using it because they don't know about
So-
it. That was part of the
So-
initial AARP saying out of there's something like 6 million people, only 8% of them know what's going on. That's why we're doing these conferences. That's
That may not be true, but only 8% of them are taking advantage of it.
taking advantage of, or they don't know, or they're nervous about it and everything else. So that's what we're trying to
Yep, that's
trying to
true.
do, and that's our job. So it's gonna cause some changes as soon as we come back, and if we look at the deferral, I'm surprised you didn't ask this question, I didn't put it in there. How many do you think is gonna happen, are gonna exercise the, I'm gonna think, first of all, anybody that's filing a 41 is qualified, right? And as soon as they see that opportunity.
Probably qualified, I don't know for sure. I
Yeah,
think
most
so.
likely.
But
So we're
but
gonna.
you can't say across the board, you could say, but you can just put a qualifier on there, because there may be some individual somewhere that
Yeah.
that qualifies for 41C but doesn't qualify for 41D.
I'm gonna
It
say
doesn't qualify for an A.
20
Who knows?
of, well, I gotta be careful.
We don't have that many 41s.
We don't
do
have
we?
anyone, but we have others that sit in there. But in either case, then you're gonna look at what is the savings potential to these people by going into the deferral piece. You're gonna pick up another 20 at least. And so now we're looking at a load that says, okay, and if the average deferral is $5,000 times 20, guess what that number is?
But
So, hey, Rita.
we'll have to do an evaluation of
Yeah.
that as we roll it
And
out.
I will
but-
have some more
so,
information
yep,
on that one.
Yep, so that's
Okay.
just, hi, hey, Lena. If you speak, you're gonna be on camera.
Oh, is that where it is?
Well, no, this thing actually,
Oh,
it
It was hooked up.
it hooks up to whoever's,
Is my head really
Making-
bald?
it doesn't show the back, it doesn't show the back of your head, so.
Oh, it's shiny. Oh, okay.
And yes, it
Well,
does.
don't laugh. You got hair. You can laugh. No, I put a hat on. That's why I tried it. Okay, go ahead.
So, yes, you can explain all that stuff. My question was about the presentation, not about estimating who's gonna take advantage of the 41A.
That's
I
gonna
don't
be-
know how to estimate that. And you've made a swag at that, maybe, but so far to date, we haven't really seen that.
We haven't seen anything like that. And the thing is, this document gets once we go through another interweaving exercise, we're gonna develop questions that are probably gonna be asked. And then that'll be one of the answers, because one of the things I've learned is that.
Gonna be asked at the senior thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll be asking the senior thing, and they'll be asking us, how much is this gonna cost the town? And we've gotta have a really reasonably good, with a confidence level that says, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So that's what we're gonna do.
Good. So Rita, you got here, perfect timing. We just
Question?
finished the review of the conference at the senior center. Jack sent off a copy last night.
Oh, I should send you a copy. I apologize.
Well, wait till we get your fixes done and whatever you added together,
Mhm.
so don't give her another to go over until we have something to go over. Till you're ready.
Okay, yeah,
Because this
because,
was, obviously that was a preliminary draft,
yes,
which we reviewed the hell out of.
right.
And you have some changes to that preliminary draft that you made today. You'll make some changes based upon the feedback today.
Yeah.
So once you're done with that,
Once
send it
that-
off to
then
all
I'll
of
send
us.
it, because I have to send it to the other members, because now we start the weaving process. Meaning that
Yep,
you try to complement what other people have said, and so we can, revalidate us, so
yep,
it goes out to all those other players.
yep.
So I'll get those into.
So, honestly, you've made a great start on the presentation. And when I first got it, I went 35 pages, what are you nuts? And then I looked at it and went, no, okay, maybe you can get a little bit less, but not much.
Yeah,
You got 2 hours of presentation, you got several presenters.
and I've got the
Have
time
at it.
worked out with it. Margaret's gonna hold it to 15 minutes, Deb and I'll do 15, the Michael, yeah, anyway, the timing just barely
Yeah,
holds.
that's fine.
So I gotta peel more down.
That's fine. Well, you added something too, so we'll know better
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah, and I won't wait till.
We
Do
need
you
to
know-
get it a few days ahead of time just to review it because it's hard to go. It's hard to sit
Comcast
through
shut
a
down last night?
34-page, just for you.
Yeah, no, just when I'm trying to send it, what the hell, excuse me, what the heck is not going on? And,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Okay,
So if you can get it to
Yeah.
us a couple days ahead of time, that'd be great.
you'll get it hopefully in a
And-
week.
And we should copy Linda and Rena both.
I've been copying Linda because she's presenting on that night.
Right.
She said, okay, but I'll
Thank
get
you.
you one.
Thank you. We're gonna go back on the agenda
Okay,
to status report. So you have I think I did a little of it.
currently, we only have 3 abatements filed. 2 of them we knew were coming in, and then there was a gentleman that had some issues with the bathroom and square footage and stuff. Denise did an inspection, that's already. So we have actually, and the 2 that we know about, Denise and Linda are going out next Tuesday and do the inspection. So I think after Linda gets back, we can start acting on abatements. And I know there's 2 more coming in, people I spoke to today.
Yep.
So, and typically you get a big group at the beginning, right when the tax bills go out, then there's kind of a lull. And then usually just when they're ready to pay
The
their
last week?
tax bills.
It goes
last
nuts.
week, that's when they all come in, so, and I've got them all entered into the spreadsheet that I used last year.
Yeah.
Jack was just asking if we have some kind of way of denoting the various abatement applications. I think you have a list of them and
Yeah, it was one I
And they're
used last
coded.
year that
Yeah.
Ron had created for me.
Right, that's,
And it, when I put the date in,
mhm.
it tells us when the board has to act on it.
Oh, okay.
And then when I put the abatement in, it figures out the exemption, the abatement.
Okay.
So, and then it tells us if the applicant wants to apply with the ATB, the date they have to apply by.
Oh, okay,
So,
excellent. Now,
yeah.
is this in the website, going into the website?
No,
this is-
no, you can't put that
You
on the
can't.
website.
Okay,
No, it's private
it's
information.
confidential information, as
To each
the
one.
list was last year and the year before.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's all set to go.
Wow.
And I talked to a couple of people today, and they're gonna file, and so it's been relatively quiet so far, and it's good because neither Denise or Robin really know what to tell people.
Right.
Denise has been, like, I was home Tuesday and she called me like 3 times at home. I hate to bother you. No, not a problem, don't worry about it. But I don't know how to answer this question, not a problem.
Yeah.
So.
You answered a lot in the last round, big round for people.
Oh,
Yeah,
A ton,
yeah.
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 When we talked earlier today, you had several other things that you updated. I don't remember what they were off the top of my head.
Well, one of the things I think we really need to get started on is straightening out our site indexes. And
Yes.
I believe we should start with the lake. I have all the lake maps that I have put together at home. That's something I'd like to at least donate, do 1 day a week.
Just for anybody who's watching, site indexes are also known as neighborhood.
Maps.
Yeah, so, being the directive from the DOR, that we have to fix those.
Right.
And,
During our 5-year review.
5-year review, yeah.
One of the directives from the Department of Revenue was that we needed to fix our site indexes, AKA neighborhoods.
yeah, and we noticed a sale today of a piece of property. The property was only valued at like $533. It sold for $825. It's not right on the water, but
Sure.
it's across the street from the water. And it's got a code of below average on waterfront. There's no way, not,
And they're on the lake? They actually live on the lake?
no, they have
A street off of it?
a street back from the lake. It's
Ah.
actually your street.
We
West-
sold a place on our street? For 8?
Well, it's that road. I
You did?
don't know right where it is, but,
Huh. I didn't know you already.
so that will be a good.
Was it a lot of land with that too?
I didn't,
Yeah, because land is the
Really?
driver.
I really didn't get into,
Okay.
Denise saw it and she said, wow, she said, I looked at it's below average. And then we looked at MLS and
It doesn't look below average.
it's not below.
Really?
We
So-
really need to get away from that good below average and just,
Yeah, as long as we define it.
Well,
That's,
yeah.
that's gonna be our
And it's
problem.
gonna
So
be
the-
by
the-
sales.
The whole point on that one is we'll define waterfront as waterfront.
Yeah,
And then modify from there,
right,
as opposed to defining them as waterfront below average.
right.
You just call it waterfront and then you decide whether it's above, below.
When you give
or-
you're gonna factor in, use the factoring?
I think we're gonna have to treat the 3 lakes different. They all have the same site index code because they're all waterfront.
Mhm.
But you have 2 lakes that have public boat launches and public beaches.
Right,
And then your lake is totally private.
right.
So they can't all be treated exactly the same.
Okay, they are essentially 3 different neighborhoods. All
Right.
3 of them really are.
But the DOR wants us to call it, like lakefront, and then we can
Okay.
deviate from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, other than a few other people stopping in. Robin had made a couple of appointments for a couple of people that came in today. One is an abatement from last year, and he's coming back again. I said, just file the abatement and
We'll look at it.
We'll look at it. And,
If we granted it
Yeah,
last
I
year,
just-
wouldn't that carry over?
No, well, so I
It's
just
a
wanted to
little
clarify
bit-
something. In some cases, people filed for an abatement last year. We went back and reviewed it and we made some changes.
Yeah.
And they're looking at their property card and going, well, there's still this other thing that needs to be
Okay.
looked at.
Sure.
So people can file for an abatement
Yeah.
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
time. They can, if they filed for an abatement last year, they
Like
can
it.
certainly
And this
file
was
for an
somebody
abatement.
that had come to the board,
Yep.
Mhm.
and we thought we had it all set, and then this person said, I realized I should have brought this up. I said, file.
Oh, I know, we've had that.
Feel free to
Yeah.
file.
My sensitivity was in relationship to, we had, in this particular case, my street had an abatement for one side. We went in and got them all abated. And maybe 6 or 8 years ago, I looked at the card, and wasn't really good at looking at the card, and I go, where'd it go? And it all been erased. Everything had been lost in terms of what was given to that side. And so I'm saying, could we lose abatements? Is that possible? But
No,
we have
When you
records.
revalue,
no,
any
it
prior.
was the conversion.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but whenever we do, like the 5-year reval,
Yeah.
basically we're evaluating every piece of
Oh, yeah.
property in the town. So you don't lose anything from your abatement, it is not your baseline anymore, because the
Right.
baseline is, here's what the sales were, and here's what your land and
Right.
building values are.
Right. So when Rena came out and visited my house, and that's when I first had a chance to appreciate you. No, I'm only
Oh,
kidding.
that's
I'm only
ridiculous.
kidding. Absolutely. You were very, very nice. You were incredibly nice. Was that there was no mention of a lot of stuff or it was miscoded. Remember mine was primarily miscodings.
Well, yours was the structure in the back, they have it, they had
As
it
a
as
house.
a second dwelling.
Right.
Yeah, second dwelling, and the lot at the front had a buildable lot. And I'm saying, okay, what happened here? Why, how could my little strip?
Those 85 square feet were buildable?
Yeah. You laughed, you go,
He's
yeah,
got a
that's wrong.
gazebo on it.
That's wrong.
Kidding, right. Yeah, he's got a gazebo.
And she didn't want to come back and see my barn either.
She just wanted to get on the inflatable out there in the water.
Yeah, yeah. This is dead winter, she would get.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything
So,
else?
no, I think, because I went in last week for a couple of days, just like 3 hours. And then I was in there Monday and Wednesday. I think I'll stick to like Monday and Wednesday. And just go in and, some of the stuff I'm gonna start thinking about at home, because I have all the maps and how we could tackle that. And I'm gonna I wanna look at quite a few sales
Yep.
over several years.
Right, right.
So,
Mr. Chairman, I think inside this package, I made a couple more changes, and in relationship to our 2 employees in there, the thought was, okay, can we get a really high-level just description of what they do? So if someone calls into the office, or they look up front, can I speak to somebody and they can help you directly versus
So
getting.
there was a job description for the data collector,
Yeah,
and there's a job description
Can I-
for the admin.
right,
So you
Is
can
that
pull
what
stuff
we're-
out of there, no problem.
yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, I gotta
The
go
job
find it.
description for the data collector was new,
Mhm.
because we never had that position
Right,
before.
right. Yeah.
But both of those positions have job descriptions,
jobs
we can
in
pull
there,
stuff out of there.
I'll
If
extract
you want to
that
just,
piece.
just a couple of bullets out of there
Yeah,
or
so
something.
people can talk
I don't
to,
think
you
that's a
know.
problem. I
Yeah.
don't see that as a problem at all.
That'll save
That's
some
actually-
bouncing around.
Yep, that's good.
So other than, what's come in so far, and like I said, I was on the phone a lot this morning, so calling people back and stuff, but that's fine.
So, we already talked about it, but I did want to reiterate to people that they can come in multiple years for an abatement, it's not a problem. We'll review their abatement request and we'll
Yeah.
come up with some kind of a conclusion. And if we've missed something, we've missed it, okay, that happens. As the back of your tax bill says, please come into the assessor's office if you have any questions, and feel free to file an abatement.
Yeah.
So,
I do understand though from the attorney that called today,
Oh, yeah.
he could not get the current valuations on
That's
the
correct.
website.
I did it today, you can't. They're
So-
they're not up yet.
I'm gonna have, when Linda comes back, I'm gonna have her address. It's, the CIA card has nothing on it.
CAI.
Whatever.
CAI card.
Cartographics.
Yeah.
Linda had them pull that because it was conflicting,
All right,
and because there were different dates, they were conflicting, and people couldn't figure out why they were conflicting, so don't put them out there because they'll never match.
so we're gonna have
But
to.
the
we're gonna have to-
Vision ones are not up to date today.
The
They
Vision
do
ones
not-
aren't?
They do
Really?
not have the 2025
Wow.
on the card.
So what do the tax bills say?
Tax bills have
The
it.
tax bills
Tax
are
bill,
fine.
right.
Vision has it.
Yeah, how did they?
It's just
did
not exposed on our,
It's just, it
on our
wasn't
site.
updated by the
This-
cartographics.
Yeah. Is it that's who does it?
Well, yeah, that's what they're.
Cartographics, I thought did CAI.
That is C.
That is-
Yeah, okay.
When I had them as my mapping company, their name was Cartographics.
Oh,
Now
okay.
they've gone to this CAI.
You know, that was before computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Stone Age. I used to have the houses out on the tablet.
I use a clay
First
tablets
or
myself.
second.
That was a different kind of tablet.
Yeah. Now, I was under the impression we were looking at letting CAI go and just staying,
Oh, no, we can't do that.
No,
No, we
we
can't.
do all of our mapping stuff.
well,
Yeah.
not, but in
And we
terms
do
of
our
showing up
abutters
on the
list.
site.
Yeah,
We do- we
Linda
do
pulled
a-
them all.
She did pull them.
So there's still a place to go there, but you get nothing if you click
Oh,
on it.
that's what it means, okay, I haven't looked.
And that's how we do our abutters list.
Yeah?
From CAI.
From CAI.
So they're still important, because we're not the only ones that use their
Yeah.
information, so
Yeah.
we need
Right.
to keep them for that.
Okay.
But the card was conflicting with the cards that were up there
Right,
from
it was
Vision.
causing all
As
sorts-
you know, Vision, it sets it at the beginning of the year and it stays static essentially.
Right,
So
well, because.
CAI was updating
Yes,
fairly.
once every few weeks.
Well, I don't know how often they were updating because they were not on a regular schedule. They would just suddenly go, oh, I
And-
guess we got some new
And
ones.
they didn't have Linda's, they still had CJ
Yep,
in, as the administrator, so
Yeah.
all that had to be
Addressed.
fixed, so.
yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's interesting to know.
So
Good
that's-
catch.
Actually, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up today, was I went out there and I couldn't find 25, just 24.
Yeah.
Huh,
So I was like, that's a problem.
that is.
Which can be fixed fairly quickly, I think. I
Yeah.
think as soon as we bring it to their attention, they'll fix it.
Take it over.
But that'll probably be, won't be tomorrow, so it'll probably be next week sometime when
Mhm.
Linda's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, other
Should
than
we,
that,
should we try and put some sort of notice in our site, the start of it, saying, hey, if you're confused a little bit,
I
sit
thought
tight?
Linda had put something.
Did she put a note in there
I didn't see it
on
though.
the site?
Oh, because she talked about putting a disclaimer,
Yeah.
the values are as of,
Right,
if you
right,
need
right,
a
right.
current value, call the office. That's what she was gonna do.
So
Whether she
I
might
may
not
have missed it, I didn't see it.
She
though.
might not have got it done, because we were going back and forth
And
about,
since we're gonna be fixed early next week, I suspect
Yeah.
we should
yeah,
mess with it.
yeah.
Well, meantime, we're telling everybody, go check your property card, go check.
Well,
your-
no,
Yeah,
and if you want, come in and we'll print you off a property card, and we've said that
Oh,
right
cool.
away,
Yeah.
so we do it all the time. In fact, you can call and we'll send you.
And I think the people that have come in so far, that come in and say, well, my taxes went way up. And I explained to both Robin and Denise that they're looking at, if the first two bills, the preliminary, and they're just adding up all the quarters, and, I said,
It's not-
no, you've got to tell them
yeah.
to ask what their valuation is for the year, and that times the new tax rate will give them
The amount of tax that
Right.
they're
the
actually
amount
being
of
charged.
taxes, because a lot of people, they just look at their tax bills, well, I paid 6,000, here's 6,000, now it's 7 and 7, they add it all, and they say, my tax bill's going way up, and they don't realize that part of that is a catch-up bill.
I know how to read them, and I got confused. So, I went, what? Oh, yeah. But it took me a second, it took me back.
And I just told Denise and Robin, don't even look at their tax bills. Look at their valuation times our current tax rate, and that's gonna be,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. So,
I actually had one person the other week ago, when they got the bill. He says, so my taxes are only this for the whole year? Was that quarter? I go, no, your
Probably not.
taxes are, dude, look over on this other side of the chart, yeah, and that's what, this confusion, that's why you have how to read your property card, maybe there should be a how to read the tax bill. Huh?
Well, we do know how to
Well,
read the
that's-
property card is
I'm
out of
not-
date now because it was last year.
Yeah,
We
And
don't
how to
have
read
the
your tax
methodology.
bill's not our domain, that's the tax collector.
yeah.
Right, oh, it was how to read your property card, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he said,
You
maybe
did
let's
say,
put up.
and
how
I
to
just
read
went
your
along
tax
with, I
bills.
went along
Yeah.
with him too, yeah.
No, that's not.
Followed you
So
right
that's
down
not our
that path,
department,
Jack,
huh?
sorry.
That's
That's
not our
okay.
domain, so. we
They,
can't-
yeah, but remember now, volunteer. I got a story with that one, but I won't tell the public.
Okay, anything else?
No, it's surprisingly, it's been relatively quiet for,
8 days.
we do have, there was a fire recently, and I got all the information, the fire chief was at a department head meeting, so I asked if he would stop down and see me. He's sending me the report so we can determine, you know, how much of the
Good
property.
idea.
What kind of action we need to
Yeah.
take,
Right.
Yeah.
depending upon the severity of the fire, when it occurred, and all
Because
of that
one of
stuff.
his neighbors who we've dealt with, she said, he had a fire and I told him he should file an abatement. She said, so I'm gonna help him. I said, that's
Yeah,
fine, that's
yeah.
fine. But I wanna make sure I get all the details
Right.
And
from the fire
that's
chief.
also another interesting, we're glad you're doing that, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna go in for a building permit, right? What do we record, what do we respond to? Building permits.
Well, no, when a fire is reported to us, we respond to that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying it's good that you're doing it, because otherwise it's gonna trigger that, and the next thing you know, if we're not careful, oh, they're building something, and we send addition.
And we
which is-
have to be careful on, that's why I wanted to deal with the fire chief,
Yeah.
because, under the state law, if more than 50% of their building is gone, by law, we go back to vacant land.
Land.
Right.
Because the
Which is
structure
the
has
right
to be, you know.
They can't use the house.
They've taken
Yeah.
down, so, and he said that one wasn't 50%, but he's gonna send me the whole report.
Uh-huh.
And, he's gonna file an abatement, and, so we can work it from there.
Hmm. That's a good thing to know.
So, yeah, that's about it for my time in here.
Since-
Since I've only been in the office twice,
Well, yeah.
no, 4 times since January 1st.
Um, I don't know if there's anything else we need to cover.
I haven't made any modifications to the website, have you?
No.
No.
I've actually been up there 3 times, but I can't seem to catch anybody yet.
It's, Kara, yeah.
At least one individual up there has injured themselves and is in therapy for that, and in and out of the office, you know, just in the holidays, and it's just been hard to catch people in place, so. And it doesn't matter who it was, but, I tried to get up there today, so I get a computer, so I could run this Zoom thing.
Oh, yeah.
But now we know how this owl works,
Oh,
so
Is
we
it
can.
owl? Oh, this?
The owl.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that
So
does
we
look
can,
like an
we can
owl.
fire this thing up and run
Oh, cool.
run the Zoom from here and
So
all. the
Linda
things
doesn't
are-
bring her, have to
she
bring
won't
her
have-
laptop?
Unless she wants to bring it for some other reason.
Yeah.
And has her laptop shown up that we know of? They were supposed to give her one from the town.
They
She-
gave me
Linda?
one, I don't know if they were gonna give her one, and Denise
They
has,
gave you a laptop?
yeah, it's hooked up to my monitor,
Oh, okay, so it's your
On the
computer.
desk.
right.
Yeah.
No, she was gonna have a laptop.
But this way,
that's
if I wanted to work at home, I
Mhm.
could take the
Sure,
laptop.
fabulous.
Excellent. So in other words, Mr. Chairman, you're saying that we're gonna be using the owl and there's not much else left here?
I don't know if there's much left to talk about today.
Oh, assessing calendar.
Yeah, and we have several things that are on postponed topics. We were gonna talk about the clause 41 and 17, income levels, assessment levels,
Okay.
exemptions levels and stuff. But I'd rather do that when we're all here,
Yeah.
number one, and I haven't had a chance to write much up, so.
And Linda needs to be in on that so that she can communicate that, okay.
Yep.
And that will be for next year.
That'll
'Cause
be
they-
for
they're-
May for the following year.
Right, because they've
Right.
all got their exemptions are in and they've
Well-
been processed for this year.
Yeah.
They can still apply to April 1st.
And the other thing, one other thing, yes, they can. One other thing that Robin was asking me about, the HEROES Act,
Yes.
which was the abatement for veterans with 100% disability.
Yeah,
And she said, a woman called up and she said her husband died, could she have his, no, you have to be alive. And you
Right.
have to have 100%
if you're
disability.
killed in action, or? if-
No, that's a
No, no,
whole
this is
other
different.
one.
Yeah, I'm saying,
That-
I'm trying to remember that,
that one is a surviving spouse and that's a full
right,
exemption of the
Right, right.
taxes. But this is for their motor vehicle, one car.
one vehicle.
One vehicle.
Oh, they don't keep that? She can't keep that?
If he's no longer,
If he,
Oh, I didn't.
and it has to be registered in his name.
right.
So she said, are we gonna, cause we put them all in as abatements last year and they didn't even, we sent letters saying
Right.
This HEROES Act was approved by the governor on August 8th. So she said, when our first big commitment comes in, can I automatically give those people the one exemption? And I said, yes.
Yeah,
So she's got a list of all of them.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So I said, yeah, we won't make them call up and say, am I gonna get that again? We know it's a law that was passed by the governor, so,
Yeah, and it doesn't cover the spouses, that's surprising.
no,
No.
it has to be
It's
the
almost like
veteran.
we should float a warrant article to do that.
You can't.
know.
That's, no.
I know, it's
It's
outside
not,
of
it's not a
our
warrant
doing.
article.
I know, it's.
Yeah.
You need to go to the legislature, good luck.
Yeah,
Because how long did this other thing
Because
take us?
I was looking at some of the pieces, and after talking to a number of people, we have no hope in hell of changing anything that's got to do with veterans.
no,
Yeah,
that's
it's all-
strictly controlled by the state.
Yeah, and, huh.
So,
Well, that's good, that's sad to know, but good to know. Does that mean that I have to wear a hat next time if I sit here?
oh, yeah, really.
So, you can look behind you.
I don't want to look. If I do, it turns around. It just looks like, okay. Anyway.
But it's the glare on
It's
this
the
side.
glare. I know. Okay,
Anything else?
I think,
No, that's good for me.
That is good for you, thank you.
good job. Rena, thank you so much. Thank you.
I have nothing else on the agenda that we need to cover today. Our next meeting is scheduled for January 22nd. We will have an executive session that date.
Okay, is it gonna be before?
It'll be after, we could run the executive session first. The difficulty with that is then we don't know what time to start up all of this stuff.
We've done executive sessions at one at 6.
Mostly, yeah, but that's what we did to do in the same location. We moved to the different location.
And that's one.
That's a thought, by the way. We could do the executive session prior to here, do it over at the office, and then come back over here to
Yeah.
start up the meeting, so that we could set up the
You could.
video.
You could, because the public is not allowed to be at that.
Right?
But the applicant, we can invite the applicant.
Mhm.
Right.
So let me check with the applicants to see if they might be amenable to coming to an earlier meeting over at the office and see an executive session, and we'll let them schedule it. We'll schedule it with them through the office.
Okay,
Mhm.
yep.
And you don't have to drive at night.
And you don't have to sit here through this.
Yeah, yes.
This was way less bickering than usual, so that's good. Oh, no. There was some.
There's always some.
It's
That's okay, you want some, not a lot.
102 temp.
Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
motion-
no, before we do that, we have to actually say any closing comments from the public.
Yes.
I can invite the public up if they'd like to speak. Anybody on Zoom? I didn't notice anybody on Zoom ever here, so
It was such a popular group, you know.
I wasn't looking for it, but a hand would have popped up and I didn't see anything.
I
Uh,
just saw your hand, Barbara.
Well, I wanted to speak. No, I didn't. Any comment from the board?
Yeah, I just have a question. Did this meeting meet your expectations?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
perfect. Good.
You guys did a good job.
We're trying. We are.
We keep trying.
We're trying.
Someday we'll get it right.
Yeah.
Nah. You never get it
Then
right.
at this point, I believe I can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I will second it.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
7:53. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a great evening.